If your inch plant looks like this, it has many crispy leaves, it has leggy stems and even some broken parts, pale leaves, and tiny leaves, tiny new growth, it's time to do something about it. But first, coffee. Hello everyone, I'm Anna and I help you grow beautiful and healthy plants. This is a very neglected plant, but it's an absolutely most beautiful Tradescantia. This is Tradescantia Zebrina inch plant, and this is very neglected. The soil is very dry, it's on the top shelf and I hardly see it, I don't remember it, it's just growing hanging, and you can see that, this is horrible. So let's turn this into this. Well, let's talk about mistakes first of all, so that we don't even reach this stage. Well, number one, it's growing in a very dark area, so basically it doesn't see any even direct or indirect sunlight. It's a little bit brighter, but it's definitely not enough. And you can feel it. Well, if you see that the leaves are so pale, it's most probably not enough light for your plant. Or if you see that the growth is compared to the previous growth is so small, like the leaves are really tiny, again, it needs more light. Or if you see leggy stems, see the distance between the nodes, between the leaves is so long, again, light. So what happened here is basically very wrong conditions for this plant. It's too dark for this plant, it was not watered enough because the leaves are even wilted a little bit, or like not wilted, but like loose kind of, you know, weak, not really standing strong, and it was never pruned. So what you can do to avoid this in the first place is pruning your Tradescantias. Prune as much as you want. As soon as it grows a little bit, prune it, cut it, and then you can propagate. What we're gonna do here, I have the jars and we will propagate it in a second. I'm gonna show you also how I make cuttings and what you can basically do to save this plant, because this plant has no chance of proper growth, of blooming, especially if we don't change the conditions. But even if we would change the conditions, even if we would place it in a brighter area, this growth is already too leggy. So we need to refresh the whole plant, we need to repot the cuttings basically, and improve the conditions, meaning more light, more watering, and just taking care of it a little bit better. So what we're gonna do now, we will cut the stems, make cuttings, a lot of them. By the way, you can also, watching this video, comment the number of the cuttings that you think will come out of this. I think it will be a lot, but you decide. Will it be 50, 100, 150, maybe even 200? No idea. So we will be regrowing this plant from cuttings. So let's have a sip of coffee and start. And by the way, I will also move the camera a little bit closer right on this plant so that you see what I'm gonna do with it. Well, I'm happy that I just looked what I have recorded and I realized that I didn't record. So something happened there, but I have already these cuttings here that I just made, thinking that I'm recording. It's basically, the cuttings have a couple of leaves. These are all top cuttings. And you need to just have one node in water, that will be already enough. You can also have two, but in case of two, you will need to remove also this leaf as well, because in the water we don't need any leaves, they will get rotten, and then we will not be that successful with our water propagation. As you can see here, the stems are in water, but the leaves are not there, so the leaves are above the surface of the water. In 2-3 days, they will already start growing roots, and I will post also an update coming right after this part. So it will be of course recorded on different days, but now I will post every single day, so starting from day 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and then we will plant it, and you will see how the roots grow day by day. This is the plant that propagates itself so easily. But let me just show you how I made these cuttings. Basically, you need to take, let's say, a stem that you want to cut. I already took some top cuttings, but let's say, let me find one. Where is it? Where is it? Let's see. These are just not nice, and I will need to see what I save, what I cut, or maybe even throw away. But let's say this is our growth. We cut it from the stem, and we take basically these cuttings. Again, this leaf may go. It's okay, we don't need it. And we put it in the water just with these ones, just like this. Couple of cuttings is enough to basically plant together, grow them together. But if you want, you can also take a cutting that is not the top cutting. So for example, you don't have growth here. Well, this is the place where it's growing, right? You can also cut in between, remove the leaf and plant it as well. This leaf will go, so the roots will grow from here, and the new plant will be growing from here. And this leaf, this is not nice, not a beautiful leaf, but it's totally fine for now. We can keep them and keep this leaf, and then once the new growth is there, we can remove this one as well. So just like here, I have this cutting here. Again, there is no growth starting from here, but this will properly grow and be as beautiful plant as this one. Let's maybe do one more. So this one, and you can see that from this node, this new plant is already growing. We can keep it there, and we can put this one, even remove maybe this one. And this is also a new cutting. We can have it like this maybe. I don't even know which one was that. Okay. So, and now, not to repeat the same mistake, we will need to plant these cuttings. You can even plant them after 3-4 days, but I will just keep the progress for a week to show you the growth of the roots. But once we plant them, we need to put them basically in a very bright area. Not under direct sunlight, but in a very bright area, so that we do not have this leggy growth. Again, the size of the leaves will be much bigger. You will notice it with the time. After a month, this will be totally different situation. And if you have any questions, comments, please, as always, write them in the comments. Like and share, subscribe, of course, because that's the easiest and free way to reach more people, to help them grow beautiful and healthy plants. Stay passionate about plants. I will see you in the next one, and I'll go to clean up this. And now you can see the progress of growing roots.